Hello dear viewers, my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. If you're interested in this type of content, please subscribe. I would be grateful to you. Let's move on to the story. The house on the corner of First and Main was a quiet refuge for the young couple, Jack and Sarah. They had just moved to this small town to start a new life, to escape the hustle and bustle of the big city and find peace in the countryside. But their world was overshadowed by a criminal past they didn't even suspect. Town residents whispered about a maniac prowling the streets at night, seeking his victims. These stories were frightening, but Jack and Sarah tried to ignore them, thinking, what were the chances of encountering such a monster? They believed that their home was their castle, an impregnable sanctuary. But horror invaded their lives on that fateful night when the maniac decided that their home would be his new target. Wild, insane flames suddenly illuminated the night sky, as if tongues of hell had broken free. Jack and Sarah woke up to the screams and wails of fire sirens. Their hearts froze with fear as they watched their home engulfed in flames. Along with their neighbors, they rushed to help, but it was already too late. Their home, their comfort, and dreams all turned into ruins, devoured by infernal flames. Firefighters battled the blaze, and the police began their investigation. Many townspeople recalled horrifying stories about the maniac who might have been involved in this terrible incident, but no one could provide an accurate description of his appearance or whereabouts. Jack and Sarah were in shock. Their lives were shattered, their futures shaken, and hope extinguished like embers in their home. Several weeks later, when everyone had started to forget about the tragic event, something even more horrible happened in the town. Another fire. And again, families were living in the houses. This time, the fire consumed not just one home, but an entire neighborhood. Families were thrown onto the streets, their fates becoming the flame in the merciless hands of the maniac. Jack and Sarah, having lost all their belongings and their home, decided to carefully investigate the rumors about the maniac. They delved into the archives of the local library, searching for evidence, any clues that could help catch this madman. Soon they came across an old newspaper article, written many years ago. The article told of a psychopath who lived in the town many years ago and was known for his pyromaniac tendencies. He was arrested and declared insane, but soon after that he disappeared and his whereabouts remained unknown. Jack and Sarah suddenly realized that this maniac could return to continue his atrocities. They felt like targets in a mad game of death. But they couldn't stand aside. They actively helped the police, providing any information that could help catch the maniac. They joined forces with other townspeople, forming a committee for safety and fire protection, deciding not to leave their homes unattended for a second. But the maniac was cunning and elusive. He continued to evade traps and slipped from under the nose of justice. Jack and Sarah felt that the time for their home to be targeted again was approaching, filling them with fear and anxiety. One day, when they returned home after a committee meeting, they found traces of someone breaking into their home. Everything was turned upside down, but fortunately, the maniac hadn't had time to set the house on fire. It was a warning. The maniac confirmed that he was watching them, that they were in his power, that their home was his next target. Jack and Sarah realized they needed to act. They couldn't wait for the maniac to try to destroy their lives again. They decided to confront the maniac, even if it meant taking a risk. With hope and determination in their hearts, they began to prepare. They installed additional security systems, set up surveillance cameras, and purchased special firefighting equipment. They prepared for the battle that undoubtedly would come. They didn't sleep at night, waiting. Every sound, every rustle could be a sign of the approaching madman. Their lives turned into a nightmare from which there was no escape. Finally, on a cold and grim night, they heard a strange rustle at the door. Their hearts froze. They knew it was him, the maniac, who came for them. Jack and Sarah took the weapons they had hidden, gathering all their strength. They were ready to defend their home, their lives, their love. The door swung open, and in the doorway appeared a sinister silhouette. The maniac stood before them, smiling his insane smile. But he didn't expect that Jack and Sarah would be ready to fight. The battle was fierce and bloody. Much was lost in the terrible confrontation between the victims and their tormentor. But in the end, Thanks to the bravery and determination of Jack and Sarah, the maniac was finally defeated. But it was a victory acquired at too high a cost. The home they had long considered theirs was destroyed. Their lives were changed forever. But they survived. Their love proved stronger than any nightmare, and they were able to rebuild, starting a new chapter in their lives, remembering that one should never forget the dark forces lurking in the shadows.